Okay, we're going to recap some things we did in class and then some notes and just that we do and you do. And I'm trying to get through most of the problems for you on for your review. Okay, this would be a playlist. So if you don't need the first two problems, you can just fast forward and go to the next one. So just a recap of what we did. There are three things you need to do to help you determine the quadrilateral. First, graph it. Okay, and that's not one of the things that is the most important. Most important is finding the slopes of each side. So don't forget to put your letters, okay, what they give you, and then count your rise over run. And that was up here. So we counted how many units up, how many units over to get to A to B, okay? And this was up 1 to the left 3, so that's why it was a negative 1/3. And then you check, you compare them. So as long as you have opposite sides, like here, parallel, meaning they have the same slope. So A and B is opposite, D and C, they have the same slope. They're going to be, we at least have a parallelogram. And then what you do is you check to see if you have congruencies, meaning congruent sides, or you have perpendicular, which means opposite reciprocal. So if it's an opposite reciprocal, we should take the number -1, flip it to the bottom, and the 3 to the top, and then change the opposite from a negative to a positive. So we did this in class, okay? If you need to pause the video and make sure you have everything up to date. So first is your slopes, rise over run. Then you take the numbers that you have in your slope. For example, I had on the top the -1, so that's what I put in the parentheses here underneath the radical, and then I make sure I square it. And I take the number I have on the bottom, the 3, put that in the parentheses, make sure I square it. And then we're going to do order of operations. PEMDAS says exponents can perform adding and subtracting. So -1 squares the 1, 3 squares the 3. 1 plus 3 is, 3 squared becomes 9. 1 plus 9 is 10. And so this is our distance. You keep it underneath the house, underneath the radical sign, inside the house. So here we have that. And we went to a you-do. See if it's going to let me. Oops. Then we had the you-do on this quadrilateral. And on this one, we saw, since we were using all the same numbers in every slope, even though they might have been a flip, okay, it's not a opposite, okay, it's a reciprocal because it's flipped the sign, but it's not, or flipped the numbers, it's not an opposite because they're all positives. But because they have the same number in the ratio, then they're all the same size. They all have the same length. So once you find the length for one, you know it for all. So we saw this was a rhombus. So if you got that, thank you for taking care of it. And let's go ahead and fast forward to the next set of problems, the next 4. Thanks.